Okay. Um, in this video, I am going to discuss another application of the definite integral. Right. So this time, I'm going to discuss about the length of arc. So, how do we determine the length of arc using integration? Uh, if it's a straight line, it's very easy. Pero if the curve is irregular, we don't have a ready formula for its length. So therefore, we are going to use integration. Uh, a theorem for this is this one. If the function f and its derivative f prime are continuous on the interval EB, then the length of arc of the curve y equal to f of x from point A f of A to the point B f of B is given by this one. Okay, this one y is value of the function when x is replaced by A. And f of B is the value of y or f of x when x is replaced by B. Okay. Let's have this illustration. So we are going to prove this one. Suppose we have this curve y equal to f of x from point AFA to BFB. Now, we can approximate the length of this by dividing this curve into several line segment. Okay? Maski curve siya, i-approximate nato na straight line. Okay? We can subdivide this one into, let us say, 4 line segments. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 8 line segments. So, if we increase the number of line segments, mas closer atong value na makuha sa true value niya. True length sa arc ba? If we increase the number of line segments. Okay. So, if we use integration instead of the sigma notation, the Riemann summation, if we use integration, then this is what we will do. We'll just consider a very small strip, this one. Na even if curve niya, due to its short length, we can assume na it's a straight line. Okay? And let's label it as DL, a differential length. Okay? Differential length. Now, pag i-blow up na to, ano siya, i-zoom na to, mao ni ang result. Eh? Oh. So, even if curves siya, pero since it's very small, we can approximate na, or we can assume na straight line siya. So, mao ni ang blow up niya, DL, we can construct a right triangle. And kinina component, we can denote it as dx, and then the vertical component, denote it as dy. And by Pythagorean theorem, we have this one. dl squared is equal to dx squared plus dy squared. So first, we will divide this one by dx squared, or multiply the whole equation by 1 over dx squared. Ano? So, ang dx squared will be distributed to each term. This is the result. dl over dx squared equal to 1 plus dy over dx squared. Next is get the square root of both sides. So square root, this is the result. Okay? And then next is cross multiply dx sa right side. This is the result. And dy over dx is the first derivative of y. dy over dx, first derivative of y, or simply f prime of x. First derivative sa y is f prime of x. So we can replace this one by f prime of x. We integrate to get the total length. This is the result. Dx menta, then our limit is from a to b. Mao na ito expression sa length of arc. So for given cake problem, all you have to do is to get the first derivative of y and then substitute and then simplify. You apply those techniques of integration that we discussed previously. Okay. Whichever of them will be applied sa problem. Okay. Nasa. So this is the formula sa length of arc. Okay. Now, the other variation of this is instead of a function y equal to f of x, we can also have x as a function of y. X is a function of y. Instead na curve na y equal to f of x, pwede siya na x equal to f of y. And suppose we have these points, point EC to point BD. Okay. So, if you have this one, then same lang, Pythagorean theorem, but this time, i-divide na to or i-multiply na to by 1 over dy squared. dy na sa dy. So the result is this. dl over dy squared over dy squared 1, and then dx over dy squared. Same dire, get the square root, and then cross multiply dy, and then we integrate. Now this one is first derivative of x. First derivative sa x is f prime of y. And then limits na to sa y, c to d. F prime of y. Okay. So, depende lang. Okay? Depende sa given. Okay, so you can use this one or this one. Simple problem. Find the length of the arc of the curve y cubed equal to 8x squared from the point 1, 2 to the point 27, 18. Okay, let's plot this one. So let's have this table. No? Assume kag x from 1 to 27, pero you can just select several points or several values of x, and then every value of x is substitute, and then get the cube root para na kay y, and you have this. Example 4. 4 squared, 16 times 8, that's 128. Cube root sa 128 is 5.0396. And then after this, i-plot na to from 1x equal to 1 to x equal to 27. And connect all points. This is the graph. Ano? Okay. When x is 0, y is equal to 0. So our concern only is from point 1 to 2.2718. What's the length of the arc between these 2 points? Okay. First solution is dx ta, dx. So this one. From a to b, f prime of x, meaning y ta. We solve for y, then we get the first derivative sa y, at substitute dire. Okay. y is equal to y, which is equal to f of x, is equal to 8x squared raised to 1/3. Okay, cube money. So to solve for y, we raise this one by 1/3. Also, the right side terms are right side. So, uh, so first derivative 1/3 times this one raised to 1/3 minus 1, negative 2/3 times derivatives solid, we have 16x. And then simplify 16x over 3, negative 2/3 man, i-down na to. Okay, so to simplify, this one, 8 raised to 2/3 is 4. 8 raised to 2/3 is 4. Times 3, you have 12. So 16 over 12, that's 4/3. While sa x, 2 times 2/3 is 4/3. 4/3 is bigger than 1. So if you will subtract 4/3 and 1, what remains is 1/3 sa denominator. And so if you will simplify this one, the result is 4 over 3 times x raised to 1/3. Again, 8 raised to 2/3 is 4 times 3, 12. 16 over 12, 4/3. And then 2 times 2/3, 4/3. 4/3 greater than 1. So I subtract and then 1/3 ang bili. So we will substitute this one sa formula sa L. Since dx ta, and limits na to is from 1 to 27. Okay, so simplify, you can square the numerator and denominator. This one. And then ang next na part ani is get the LCD. This is the LCD. And then pwede mo, we can extract the root of the denominator para ma-free siya sa radical sign. Square root of 9x raised to 2/3 is actually 3x raised to 1/3. Now, for this one, how do we integrate this function? Okay. Think of the previous topics that we had sa techniques of integration. Pag maka-encounter ka ang radical sign, tapos na constant and then a function, think of trigonometric substitution. Okay. Basta mga square root, tapos constant and then function. Think of trigonometric substitution. And since plus ni, tangent siya. Okay, tangent. So let's express the numerator, the radicand, into u squared and a squared. This one. So this will be our u, and a is equal to 4. So let u equal to a tangent theta. So differentiate 3. Derivative sa x raised to 1/3 is 1/3 times x raised to negative 2/3 dx. Derivative sa tangent is secant square d theta. So to simplify, makancel ang 3 and ma-down nato ng x raised to negative 2/3, and we have this. Dx over x raised to 2/3 equal to 4 secant square theta d theta. Okay. So, let's construct a triangle based on it. So, tangent theta is 3x raised to 1/3 divided by 4. So, that's opposite over adjacent. And the hypotenuse is square 9x raised to 2/3 plus squares of 460. And since we have secant, we get the expression of secant. Secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. This one. And we cross multiply. We have this. Okay. Cross multiply na to. You have it. So let's substitute. This one is square root of 9x raised to 2 thirds plus 16 is equal to 4 secant theta. This one, denominator 3x raised to 1 third is actually 4 tangent theta. While dx is equal to this one. I-cross natin yung x raised to 2 thirds. This is the result. Okay? Again, square root of this one is 4 secant. And 3x raised to 1 third is 4 tangent theta. And then dx is this one. I-cross ne, we have this. Now, we still have x raised to 2 thirds. Pwede ito mag-solve na. What we'll do is, i-square na to ne. So first, i-divide na to ang 3 sa the right side. X raised to 1 third is equal to 4 tangent theta over 3. So to get x raised to 2 thirds, i-square na to. Similarly, sa right side, i-square sa. And so we have this. 4 tangent theta over 3 square is 16 over 9 tangent squared theta. Ang basis ani is this. So we are going to substitute this one sa L. And we have this. 4 secant over 4 tangent x raised to 2 thirds replaced by this. Yeah, 4 secant squared. So mag-cancel ta 4. Cancel ta og 1 tangent. So there's 1 tangent theta left. So i-remove sa nato ang limits kay we'll put it back once ma-restore sa original na variable which is x. Para di nata mag-change sa limits. So 1 tangent secant and cube, secant cube. Okay. 16 times 4, you have 64 over 9. 1 tangent secant cube. So use the technique of integration sa power of secant cotangent, secant cosecant tangent cotangent. So the technique here is we extract tangent and secant to be part of our du. So our u will be secant theta. Parang du na to, tangent theta, secant theta, d theta. So tangent theta, secant theta, d theta will be du. So ang bilhin na lang is secant squared. So that will be u squared. This one. Kaya ang isa ka secant na include sa du. So secant squared na lang or u squared du. And power rule, that's u cube over 3. 3 times 9, 27. You replace u by secant theta, and we have this. And restore the substitute secant theta by its expression, this one. This is secant theta pero cube na. And then evaluate na to with the original limits. Kay x naman to. This one. Okay. So the upper limit is this one. 27. 27 raised to 2 thirds is 9. 3 cube. Okay, 9. 9 times 9, 81. Plus 16, that's 97 cube. While sa lower limit, 1. 9 times 1. 9 plus 16, it's 25. And then simplify, the result is this. The length of arc is 30.75330395. Okay. Solution number 2 is, we consider one. x na sad as a function of y. And ang formula ang gamiton na to is this one. So first is kuha na to ang expression sa x in terms of y. Okay. We have this x, a function of y. We solve for x. That's y cubed over 8 and then square root or simply raised to 1/2. Pwede ra. Instead na mag-square root, pwede raised to 1/2. So, y cubed raised to 1/2 is y raised to 3/2. And then 8 raised to 1/2 or simply square root of 8. So, get the first derivative of x or f prime y. You can extract or you can write square root of 8 first and then you get the derivative of y raised to 3/2. So derivative of y raised to 3/2 is 3/2 y. 3/2 minus 1, that's 1/2. Okay. Now, square root of 8 is actually 2 square root of 2. Square root of 8. Okay, square root of 4 times square root of 2 man siya. So 2 square root of 2 times 2, that's 4 square root of 2. So f prime y is this. 3 over 4 square root of 2 times y raised to 1/2. So let's substitute this one sa formula sa L. Okay. So, i-square na to. 3 square is 9. Y raised to 1/2 square is simply y. Well, the denominator 4 squared is 16. Square root of 2 squared is 2. 16 times 2, you have 32. Ang limits na to, y man. So, dy man ta. So, 2 to 18. It's 9y over 32. Now, this is very simple. This is just u substitution. So, let u equal to 1 plus 9 over 32y. du is 9 over 32 dy. So, pag substitute, square root of 1 plus 9 over 32y is simply u, square root of u. And then dy is simply 32 over 9 du. And then integrate using power rule. Square root of u is 1/2, u raised to 1/2. Plus 1, 3/2 over 3/2 or simply 2/3. And then combine, you have 64 over 27. U raised to 3/2. Ang u na to is this one. Now, this is our u. 1 plus 9 over 32y raised to 3/2 from 2 to 18. And so we substitute y, 18, and lower limit to this one. 9 over 32 times 18 plus 1 is 97 over 16 raised to 3/2. 2 na yun. 9 over 32 times 2 plus 1 is 25 over 16 raised to 3/2. So simplify. This is the result. Same lang. Okay? Same lang. This one. And you can see the difference based sa imong gigamit na function. So, mas shorter ang solution pag x as a function of y. I-compare sa kini, no? Kini, second slide na niya. So, napay previous steps ano niya. So, kini na solution is y function of x man. So, mas longer yung solution na ni-result siya o trigonometric substitution combined with powers of tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. Mas complicated in a solution. Compare daan. na it only resulted to a simple U substitution. So, it really depends on your analysis. No? Kumbaga, no standard na nga formula nga this is the formula that you will use. Okay? Depende na lang. Okay, another one. Okay. Maybe you're familiar with this. Show that the circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi r. Okay. 2 pi r. Okay. So, I think all students know the circumference of a circle, 2 pi r or pi d. So, let's plot. Okay. Circle. The equation is x squared plus y squared equal to r squared. Now, to get the circumference of a circle, okay, here's a suggestion. Instead of analyzing the whole instead of getting the whole circumference, we can just get the length of a quarter arc. Okay. First quadrant. So, ang limit na to will only be from 0 to r. But, we will multiply the result by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Instead of considering the whole circumference. So, sa formula, pwede sa dang isa. Okay? Depende lang sa imo. Okay, so y as a function of x. So you solve for y. Y is square root of r squared minus transpose x squared. Y squared minus, so square root, we have this. So you get the first derivative of y or f prime x. Of course, instead of radical, we can express this as r squared minus x squared raised to 1/2. So derivative is 1/2 radicand raised to negative 1/2. 1/2 minus 1, it's negative 1/2. Times derivative sa sulod, which is negative 2x. 2 is cancelled. So, pag simplify this one, negative 1/2 man, we can bring it down. So, denominator, the result is this. Negative x over square root of r squared minus x squared. And so, we substitute this one sa formula sa L. And you will notice na ang limit na to is from 0 to r, but we multiply it by 4. We multiply the result by 4 to cover the 4 quadrants. First quadrant, second, third, and fourth quadrant. Or the whole circumference. Okay, so we square this one. Ma-cancel negative x squared. Ang denominator, ma-remove ang radical sign. And then we get the LCD. Ma-cancel ang x squared, no? So, ang what remains sa numerator is only r squared, sorry. Ma-cancel na, r squared na lang. Okay. So, we can extract we can get the square root of r squared. So, square root of r squared is r, di ba? And the result is this. Now, again, pag maka-encounter ka na square root, think of trigonometric substitution. Yeah. So, let our u is 1 x. So, and sign siya, basta kay a ang a tapos negative ni a negative tapos u, sign siya na substitution. U equal to a sine theta. So, differentiate dx. r cosine theta d theta. Then you draw a triangle. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, x over r, x over r. And then adjacent side is square root of r squared minus x squared. And since we have cosine theta, get the expression of cosine adjacent over hypotenuse and cross multiply. We have this. So therefore, ang square root of r squared minus x squared, this one, is simply r cosine theta and dx r cosine theta d theta. We have this. So makancel ang r cosine theta. Ang bilin is d theta. So integral of d theta is simply theta. So for our theta from 0 to pi over 2. So we replace theta by pi over 2 times 4r. It's 2 pi r. Okay. So you can try the other one. F prime y dy. If you want. Again, you are if you are solving length of arc, depende lang sa imo kung unsa na formula imo gamiton. Case to case. Depende sa limits. Okay. Or depende sa kung unsa nga function as simple, ang mas simple. Y a function of x or x a function of y. Okay, so I hope that you have learned something sa kinina presentation. Thank you for watching.